For District 5, who is the host of this event today, who will also be talking about what the next steps are.
Good afternoon, everybody. I would like to say thank you to all the incredible labor leaders and the leadership that has been demonstrated over the last 10 plus years that have helped us got to this particular point. Mike Casey's correct. In 1999 to 2000, when the MCO, the Minimum Compensation Ordinance, was being contemplated, and it was between the different sort of networks of then Mayor Willie Brown and Tom Amio running against him, who I had supported. It was essential that a divided San Francisco come together so that the MCO would pass. The MCO was landmarking. It was groundbreaking. It had given birth to so many other important pieces of law that we have now helped change for the betterment of San Franciscans' lives, like the Living Wage Ordinance. But this is an example that San Francisco can also export nationwide. We want to mend a divided America, give them jobs, especially right now when we have literally over 1/7 of the entire population of the United States has now moved into the poverty category. That is, over 44 million people are now declared officially within the impoverished category here in the United States. When you adjust that for cities like San Francisco and the Bay Area that are even more cost prohibitive, it is where the poverty category numbers compound themselves that much more. It is incumbent upon us here within City Hall to help respond in the most effective way. This is why that we want to make sure that the Community Jobs Program has teeth. This is why that, according to what has been suggested, we should do everything we can to bump the living wage and our demands on who qualifies for these particular programs so that it is the working class, working parents who are on the cusp of falling into the poverty category are saved. When you look at the numbers of people who have now just been evicted from the Jobs Now program, because the Jobs Now program will not last, is going to continue to seriously, substantially add to those who are on the cusp of poverty or one step away from being in poverty. What choice do we have? Well, it's to return back to legislation where we insist that on the Community Jobs Program, that if here in San Francisco you want to go through the proper training process in order to have a meaningful job with a living wage, we will do everything we possibly can to make sure that those requirements are tailored so that you have access to those particular programs. And just because federal spending has now eliminated that particular opportunity, that does not then divorce San Francisco's obligation for stepping up to make sure that those funds are supplemented. That is exactly the direction we'll be going. In any kind of inequity whatsoever that is demonstrated towards working parents, towards single mothers in particular, who remain the highest concentration of those who are getting those particular jobs, also show a discrimination that the parity of their salaries is significantly lower than what other programs have offered from the federal stimulus. It's up to San Francisco to step up to the plate to make sure that that inequity is corrected, and that's exactly what we'll do through the CJP program. Thank you to everybody for being here, for all your historical leadership in making the MCO 10-year anniversary happen. Now it's time for the next phase. Thanks.
I would like now to introduce the Director of the Office of Labor Standards Enforcement, which is the city agency in charge of monitoring and enforcement of our local wage and benefit laws. Donna Levin.
I wanted to pay tribute to the Living Wage Coalition. Not only did they fight 10 years ago to mobilize and organize and get past the minimum compensation ordinance, but they stuck with it and they're here today. They made sure that the law is still relevant, that the wage rates got increased over the years, that the law got amended to keep protecting our city's lowest paid and most vulnerable workers. As has been said, the law protects lowest paid workers who work at restaurants and retail establishments, at the airport, provide home health care, provide security services at the port, who provide services at the city's contracted out drug treatment programs, homeless shelters, and many others. The city's doing its best to leverage our place in the labor market to provide living wage jobs with decent benefits. And as Karl pointed out, this law ushered in 10 years of the most progressive labor law enactment in the country, making San Francisco a national model that's emulated by other cities and states and the federal government now looking to pass laws that are similar to ours. So I'm proud to head the office that tries to make this law meaningful, and for our city's lowest wage workers, we work hard to do that every day and to earn the trust of the workers who come to our office to file complaints. And here's to 10 more years of strong labor law protection for San Francisco.